This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and here are today's stories. Rents are soaring across Europe, leaving families, young workers, and migrants scrambling just to find a place to live, and forcing many to make impossible choices about where they can afford to call home. On Fuerteventura, locals and visitors keep the centuries-old fishing tradition alive, casting lines from the shore and enjoying fresh seafood straight from the ocean. In Australia, the UN is raising serious concerns about temporary migrant workers facing exploitation, unsafe working conditions, wage theft, and harassment from employers. India has officially banned real money online gambling, cracking down on games like poker, rummy, and fantasy sports in one of the world's largest gaming markets with millions of players. Japan's Sapporo Snow Festival continues to dazzle, drawing crowds from around the globe to marvel at massive snow and ice sculptures. And wildlife comes alive on Amy's trail camera. Deer, foxes, raccoons, and the surprising stories behind their everyday behavior.
Rent is skyrocketing across major European cities, creating a housing crisis that's hitting low-income families, migrants, and young workers the hardest. Many people are now forced to spend a huge chunk of their income on rent, if they can even find a place to live. This situation is pushing families and individuals to make tough choices about where they can afford to live, often with no good options.
According to the European Investment Bank, average rents in the European Union have gone up by 25% in the last 15 years, while house prices have increased by 50%, with 1 in 10 Europeans spending 40% or more of their income on housing. Social housing has been shrinking since 2010, even as the number of vulnerable people keeps growing. Many homes are outdated and too expensive to renovate to meet EU energy standards. With demand far outpacing supply and wages lagging behind, the EU would need to build nearly 1 million new homes just to begin addressing the problem. This crisis is affecting everyone. Students skip top universities, young people delay starting families, and essential workers can't afford to live in major cities. So what's driving this mess? A big part of it is the growing number of people moving into cities, both locally and internationally. Industrial hubs like Berlin, Frankfurt, and Hamburg attract locals seeking better jobs, while places like Lisbon, Porto, and Belgrade are seeing rents rise due to remote workers and wealthier newcomers moving in. At the same time, international migration, like tech workers moving to Lisbon or Russians relocating to Belgrade, is driving prices up because newcomers often outbid locals.
This is London. At first glance, it seems like one of the best places to live in the world. In a city of 9 million people, over 200,000 are millionaires. It's one of the world's top finance centres and has more private jet traffic than anywhere else in Europe. But what was once heart of a global empire has undergone a dramatic shift. Today, more than 1 in 4 people in the city live in poverty, and homelessness is 8 times the national average. It's easy to see why people are being pushed onto the streets. In 2017, the median rent was around £1,500 a month. Today, for a new tenancy, you're looking at over £2,700, an 80% increase in just 8 years. And in the midst of one of the biggest property crises in the city's history, nearly 45% of all property purchases in central London are made by foreign buyers. For many young people in the UK, London was the dream. The capital brings promises of lucrative jobs, opportunity, and a better life that in the past has drawn millions to the capital. But many of the perks of being in the city are now drying up. Jobs are harder to get than before, and the ones that you do land don't pay as much as they used to. Despite having a very wealthy population, the actual standard of living in London is far worse than it looks. After housing costs, high-earning Londoners rank in the bottom 5% for the UK in spending power, and wages adjusted for inflation haven't risen since 2008. You earn more but live worse.
Then there are coastal cities and tourist hotspots, which are a whole other story. These areas have seen home prices and rents skyrocket even faster. Tourism is causing massive headaches for locals, with overcrowded cities dealing with pollution from cruises, buses, and rental cars. Water shortages are being made worse by things like swimming pools and golf courses. Platforms like Airbnb aren't helping either. They're driving up rents and displacing longtime residents. It's no surprise protests have been breaking out in Mediterranean cities where frustrated locals are fed up with high rents, long hours, and low wages.
Are you paying more rent because of tourists? Smoke bombs, water pistols and tape across hotel doors. Some residents in Barcelona have made it very clear this summer what they think about tourism. They're not the only ones. From Lisbon to Venice, protesters have taken to the streets to complain their cities have too many visitors. Their main objection is the rent. Campaigners say long-term rentals are disappearing because landlords can get so much more money from platforms like Airbnb. The rent in Barcelona is on the rise. A Spanish think tank calculated the city has lost 7,000 long-term rental flats just in the last year. An average rent has topped €1,600. Bear in mind, average wages in Spain are only about €1,700 after tax. The city is now cracking down. It plans to completely ban holiday rental apartments by 2028. Barcelona has gone further than any other European city, but Paris, Amsterdam and Athens have all restricted the number of nights in a year that you can rent out a holiday flat. Amsterdam has still got the most expensive rent in Europe, though, averaging €2,500. Airbnb says that proves it's not responsible for the housing crisis. The platform says cities have failed to build enough housing or enough hotels. Many residents aren't convinced, but protests don't seem to be putting anyone off from visiting Europe's most popular cities.
At the root of all of it is one big issue. There just aren't enough homes to go around. Cities with fast-growing populations or booming economies are especially overwhelmed. And even when new housing is built, rising construction costs make it unaffordable for many, with developers focusing on luxury properties instead. Land shortages add another layer of complexity, made worse by zoning laws, protected areas, and limited space in some urban centers.
To solve this, cities are trying to get creative. Some are building denser neighborhoods, introducing mixed-use developments, or converting empty commercial spaces into homes. But the challenge is massive, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The question remains, how do we balance growth, affordability, and sustainability in a way that works for everyone?
Fishing has long been part of life in Fuerteventura. Locals fish from the shore, and visitors join in to enjoy the tradition and fresh seafood. UNN Field Messenger Emma explores this coastal pastime.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm a field messenger for United Network News, reporting from Fuerteventura, Spain, in Europe. I'm here on the coast, and I noticed this lady who had been fishing for about an hour. So I asked her if I could film her fish, and she let me do that, so I'll show you.
Fuerteventura is a prime destination for fishing enthusiasts, thanks to its marine rich waters and numerous opportunities for those who enjoy fishing. Fishing gear is readily available in all categories, and it's absolutely not expensive here. There are many boat companies that can take you out deep sea fishing for €65 per person, but that's another story. On the calm eastern coastline of Fuerteventura, shore fishing is quite popular, and this is what this report is going to be about. It's very popular among tourists and for people who live here. Some fish for food and some fish for fun. But there are rules and regulations you must follow. You need a fishing license. It costs 15 euros. You are limited to 2 rods and 3 hooks on each rod. The maximum amount of fish per person per day is 5 kilos of weight. There is a minimum size for fish you keep for release, and you must release protected species. So when you buy a license, you get all that information. Some tourists do not get a license. They just want to try fishing for their holiday, for something to do while the wife is sunbathing, maybe. So what kind of fish can you get? Because some of the coastline have coral reefs, there's a lot of a type of fish called parrotfish, which is a group of fish. The parrotfish are colorful and ferociously herbivores, and they spend like 90% of their day eating algae off the coral reefs with the beak-like teeth. So they resembles a parrot beak. That's why they have that name. They are found in coral reefs, on rocky coasts, seagrass beds, and they play actually a significant role in bioerosion. Bioerosion describes the breakdown of hard ocean substrates. Bioerosion of coral reefs generates the fine white coral sand that you can find a lot of on the coast of Fuerteventura. So that's a natural part. But the parrotfish are also popular, not for its funny look and the erosion, but they also taste very good. So the other type of fish you get on the coast, normally they just call it whitefish. A variety of small fish that you can fry on the barbecue with some spices. There are different baits you can use for shore fishing. Some people just use old bread from the bakery. They use one rod, attach a large piece of bread, and it attracts teams of fish. That is how you can get a lot of fish on a very short time, especially when the tide is high, which is the best time to get a lot of fish. So fishing is something a lot of people enjoy doing. Some say it's like a meditation where time flies and it calms you down. And people are joking about putting a sign on their door saying, "I'm gone fishing." So thank you for watching. Hope you liked the report, and see you next time. Bye.
Australia's anti-slavery laws have come under fire from the UN, calling them a patchy approach to human rights. A recent report shows temporary migrant workers in Australia are facing serious exploitation from some workers, labor hire companies, and migration agents. Common issues include deceptive recruitment, unfair wage deductions, unsafe conditions, harassment, and even sexual assault.
Workers in visa programs like PALM, which focuses on the agricultural sector, temporary skill shortage, working holiday, and student visas are particularly at risk, especially in sectors like agriculture, food processing, hospitality, elderly care, cleaning, and security. For female workers, things can be even worse. A 2022 Union's New South Wales report found 53% of women experienced harassment. Many face inappropriate physical contact, suggestive comments, or intimidating staring, often from coworkers or even managers. Some women have even been coerced into abortions to keep their visas, and there have been reports of forced marriages. The fear of losing their job or risking their visa status silences 75% of these women, while 66% worry about the impact reporting could have on their migration status. To make matters worse, the lack of clear reporting options leaves many feeling isolated and unsupported.
My boss sent me back home, and I asked him why, and he told me, well, if I come back to work with tighter clothes, that's when he will let me continue my shift. These are the words that he said to me. I just want to hug you. I just want to kiss you. I just want to, have fun with you. And if we can have regular time together, you don't have to work.
1 in 5 women on a temporary visa, reported sexual harassment.
The report found the highest rates of sexual harassment were in the construction industry, followed by horticulture, hospitality, retail and cleaning.
I think there is a lot of cultural and racist stereotypes that feed into the behaviour of men who perceive these women as just sexual objects who can be exploited. And that is a significant cultural problem within our workplaces in Australia.
Adding to the problem, Australia's migration laws only make things harder. According to the Human Rights Law Centre, strict visa rules often tie workers to a single employer, creating a major power imbalance. This setup makes it difficult for workers to switch jobs or secure permanent residency, leaving them vulnerable to mistreatment. Many are afraid to even seek medical help after injuries or report issues because they fear losing their visa. Workers often live in overcrowded housing, paying outrageous rent or shared spaces. The system is built in a way that silences workers and discourages them from speaking up. The government has tried to address these issues with the introduction of the Workplace Justice Visa in 2024. This visa lets workers stay in Australia for 6 to 12 months, extendable up to 4 years, to take legal action against exploitative employers while being free to work anywhere.
If your employer ever threatens to cancel your visa, look at this visa option. Workplace exploitation is not okay in Australia, and the department allows you to apply for a visa, and the department allows you to stay in Australia while the claim is being assessed. So I actually hear this a lot. You've been sponsored by your employer, and a lot is on the line. Sometimes your PR is on the line, and your employer threatens to cancel your visa if you don't do ABC, or you're pressured to work more hours, or you feel obligated to do it. If this has happened to you, reach out to an immigration lawyer or agent to see if you're eligible to pursue a workplace claim. And once you're given the certification for this, you can apply for the 408 Workplace Justice Visa.
However, a June 2025 paper on the Social Science Research Network platform shows major flaws in the design of the Workplace Justice Visa. Applicants face delays and uncertainty due to a lack of clear timelines for certification, no appeal rights, and no bridging visa while their applications are processed, often leaving them without legal status or work rights. The visa also fails to protect workers from employer retaliation, such as termination, harassment, or deportation threats. And it does not guarantee legal aid, leaving many vulnerable during claims of wage theft, unsafe conditions, or contract breaches.
While steps are being taken to address exploitation, there's still a long way to go. Temporary migrant workers deserve stronger protections, clearer processes, and a system that doesn't leave them vulnerable to mistreatment at every turn.
Amino acids play a vital role in maintaining your overall health and well-being. Not enough amino acids and protein daily can result in brain fog, hormone imbalances, digestive issues, cognitive function, lack of energy, lower immunity, decreased muscle strength, and much more. That's why we created our amino acid complex, packed with 21 free-form, easily digestible aminos that skip the breakdown and go straight to work energizing your mind and body. Used by athletes, vegans, and high performers. New Earth's amino acid complex helps your mind and body recover, rebuild, and renew daily. Subscribe now and optimize your life.
Hello, I'm Susan from Sweden.
Mwanda Maipo from Eastern Uganda, Africa.
Hi, I'm Tim from Vancouver, Canada.
I'm Titeshwar Hogao from Manipur State, India.
I'm Gumba Obasi from Southeast Nigeria.
Arnaito Chakrini from Western Uganda, Mbarara.
At United Network News, you are the news.
My name's Christina, field messenger, report first one in the hurricane down here in Southern California from Mexico.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. At UNN, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Jason from United Network News. We're going to be doing some air creep building with new technologies that allow us to live in comfort and also off the grid.
Take the next step in changing the way the world gets the news. Become a UNN field messenger today.
I am Michelle from South Africa, and we are the United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
If it is going to be, then it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
Si va a ser así, depende de mí. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN.
India has officially banned online gambling for real money. Parliament passed the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Act 2025, which makes it illegal to offer, promote, or finance games such as online poker, rummy, and fantasy sports. This is a significant step, given that India is home to one of the largest online gaming markets in the world, with an estimated 450 million players.
For years, India attempted to regulate the industry rather than prohibit it. Courts often ruled that fantasy sports were games of skill, which allowed huge platforms to flourish. Different states introduced their own rules, while industry groups pushed for self-regulation. However, these efforts failed to address widespread problems. Government data showed online gambling companies were taking in around $2.3 billion annually, often from players who could not afford their losses. Reports of debt, addiction, fraud, and money laundering linked to online gambling grew more frequent. The new act introduces sweeping changes to how online gaming is handled in India. Real money fantasy sports, card games, and poker are now completely banned, making it illegal to offer, participate, or promote these platforms.
India just dropped a bomb on the gaming industry. The new Online Gaming Bill 2025 puts a complete ban on money games. Well, that means Dream 11, My 11 Circle, MPL, Rummy Circle, Winzo, Rummy, Culture, Co Fantasy, A23 Rummy, Poker Fantasy Sports, all are gone. So basically, if you pay money hoping to win more money, it's banned. But esports, on the other hand, it's a big win. Officially recognized with government support, tournaments and prize pools are intact. Casual and social games, safe. Play Ludo or Candy Crush all you want. Just no betting. And it's the companies that take the hit. Platforms can face 1 crore rupees worth of fines and jail time. Even celebrities promoting banned applications could land in trouble. This could shake India's 25,000 crore rupees gaming industry, risking 200,000 plus jobs. While esports and casual gaming get a massive boost, gambling is out, gaming is in. India just drew the line.
The bill moved quickly through Parliament. It was passed by both houses in August 2025 and received presidential approval soon after, formally becoming law. The bill passed amid significant controversy as it faced strong opposition from both political leaders and industry groups. Critics in Parliament argued the government pushed it through too quickly, bypassed state authority, and ignored earlier court rulings that separated games of skill from gambling. Outside protests erupted in cities like New Delhi, with gaming company employees and industry bodies warning a blanket ban would destroy jobs, wipe out billions in tax revenue, and push players toward unregulated offshore platforms. Despite these objections, the government has stood by the law, citing addiction, financial distress, and even suicide as reasons the ban was necessary.
People are losing money, families are breaking, addiction is noticed everywhere. World Health Organization has classified this as a gaming disorder. as part of the International Classification of Diseases. There is a psychological behavior issue which is happening because of these games. There are so many cases of suicides news coming from practically every part of the country, every state, every society is facing this problem. So it was very important to take some strict action against the online money gaming part of it.
Since the ban, major platforms have suspended real money games, stopped new deposits, and allowed only withdrawals of existing balances. Sports sponsorships, including Dream 11's deal with India's national cricket team, are now uncertain, while some companies have reduced operations or laid off staff. Early signs suggest some players may be turning to unregulated offshore platforms to continue gambling.
Approaches to online gambling differ around the world. The UK and Australia regulate and license operators with consumer protections, while US states have varying rules, some allowing online betting and others banning it. Countries like China and Japan enforce near total prohibitions, prioritizing social and financial protections over industry growth. For India, the coming months will show whether this bold step achieves its intended social goals or creates new complications for the gaming industry and players alike.
Japan's Sapporo Snow Festival is a winter highlight featuring stunning snow and ice sculptures that draw crowds from around the world. UNN Field Messenger Kazuaki reports from the festival.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Kazuaki reporting for UNN from Sapporo, Japan. 今年の2月に私は札幌で毎年開かれている雪まつりの会場を訪れました。日本でも最も有名なイベントの一つです。毎年大小様々な雪像や氷像が作られ、訪れる人々を楽しませてくれます。雪まつりは1950年に地元の中高生たちが札幌の中心部で数体の雪像を作ったことがきっかけで始まりました。次第に規模が大きくなり、1955年には自衛隊も参加して雪像を作り始めました。雪像はどんどん巨大化し、テレビでも紹介されて、海外からも大勢の観光客が訪れる冬の一大イベントとなりました。過去にはパリの凱旋門やワシントン DC の議事堂や自由の女神、シドニータウンホールなどの雪像も作られています。コンクール部門などもあって、今年はモンゴルからの出品が金賞を獲得しましたが、さすがに見応えのある雪像でした。80年代に入ると、表情専門の会場も追加され、札幌の街中至るところに会場ができました。近頃はアニメを題材にした雪像が多く、私などには題材がよくわからないものもありましたね。それにしても北海道の友人からは、寒いから厚着が必要だよと言われたものの、私が行った日は素晴らしい晴天で気温が高く、おかげで大いに汗をかかせていただきました。This is Field Messenger Kazuaki reporting for UNN from Sapporo, Japan. Thank you for watching.
UNN Field Messenger Amy captures incredible wildlife moments with her trail camera, spotting deer, raccoons, skunks, and even a fox. She also shares fascinating facts and stories about these animals and their behavior.
Hi, Amy reporting for UNN from Parsippany, New Jersey. Today I want to share with you some of the animals that can be found in my area. This report was inspired by other UNN Field Messengers reports, like Lana's Moose reports, CJ's Beaver report, and my favorite, and the one that encouraged me to set up a trail camera to see what is living around me, was Richard's Wild Boar New Year's Eve Party report. Here are some deer. They are known for their speed running up to 40 miles per hour. Fences do not deter them as they can jump up to 10 feet high. The baby deer can be seen here. It still has its spots, and they are called fawns. The male deer grow antlers that shed and regrow every year. Deer are herbivores and food for wolves, coyotes, and bears. We only have bears and coyotes here, but I wasn't able to capture footage of them. I always thought skunks were just black with a long white stripe going down its back. This footage exposed this skunk with a white area that resembles an angel's wings, or this one that has the lines of white barely noticeable on its back and a white halo on its head with a white tipped tail. When threatened, skunks spray a foul-smelling liquid from glands near their tail. This is the only day I captured some rabbit footage. Did you know their babies are called kittens? Except for a blind spot directly in front of their nose, they almost have 360-degree vision. Capturing this raccoon footage is a real treat. They are known for their black mask around their eyes and bushy ringed tails. They have near-human dexterity, allowing them to open garbage cans and manipulate objects. Here is a squirrel. They are considered rodents because their incisor teeth grow continuously. Because of this, they like to gnaw at things like house roofs, creating much property damage. They are known for hoarding nuts like acorns. They bury thousands of nuts each autumn to prepare for winter. This is a chipmunk, which is actually a type of squirrel. They dig complex burrows with many chambers. These chambers have different purposes, like storing food and sleeping. They are best known for storing large amounts of food in their cheeks. And finally, the elusive fox. I've only ever seen a fox running quickly, barely even having enough time to identify it as a fox. Capturing this footage on the trail camera is truly amazing. They are best known for their excellent hearing that enables them to detect rodents underground. The unique sound they make, communicating over 40 different vocabulary calls with each other, is called geckering. What just wows me about this animal, though, is that they use the Earth's magnetic field to judge distance and direction while hunting. A group of crows is called a murder. I can't wait to see what you catch on camera. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Are you ready to change the world? Take the next step and join our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Learn more at unitednetwork.earth. I am United Network News, and so are you.